Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about how learning ASL really helped me a lot with my ADHD. So just stick around and we'll get into it. So when I decided to learn ASL, I had no idea that it was going to end up helping me with different aspects of my ADHD. I decided to learn it because I didn't really have a lot of luck when I was trying to learn Spanish. And when I heard that ASL was an option, I thought that that would be really interesting and just a great language to learn. So I decided to learn that instead. And I loved ASL. I loved learning about deaf culture. I loved learning sign language. I thought that it was such a great language to learn. I thought that it had so many different opportunities and I just really enjoyed it. And I took 4 years of ASL and I continue to learn now. And I just really enjoy the language and the culture. I think that it's so great. And, really thinking about it, ASL has really been a way that I've, helped with my ADHD. So I thought I'd just share because I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about it before, but I found it really helpful and, it might be helpful for somebody else. So, now that I'm doing some more mental health related content, I thought that this would be an interesting topic to talk about. So, one thing that ASL really helps my brain with is I sometimes can feel like my brain is doing a lot really fast, and sometimes it's hard for my brain to process everything it's trying to work through. So it's simultaneously moving really fast and really slow, which is interesting to say the least. And so when I use ASL, I'm able to kind of find a medium between both and kind of sync things up a little bit more. It makes it so I have to slow things down in order to process, and my processing is able to speed up because that is slowed down, because I'm not trying to, muddle through 18 different things. Another way that I actually kind of do that and, use sign language to think things through is, one, with a conversation. Sometimes I can kind of figure out what I'm trying to say by signing it first. If I'm writing an essay and I'm trying to figure out what it is what thought I'm trying to convey, what idea, what analysis, I will try to sign out what I'm saying. Sometimes I'll just, sometimes I'm stuck with exactly how I want to move forward with something. And not only essays, I mean creative writing too, and any kind of writing really. Another way that, the signing to help me kind of focus on what I'm doing is it can act as a fidget for me sometimes too, in a sense. So I'll sign when I drive, and it helps me feel like I'm paying more attention when I drive. And I know to somebody who doesn't have ADHD, or maybe even somebody who does, just depending on, how it presents for some other person, that may sound counterproductive, but what I've learned is that how ADHD works for me is that I always know there's a part of my brain that's going to get distracted, that's going to try and latch onto something else. And what I've learned to do by fidgeting, by listening to music, all sorts of different things, is I will control the distraction. So that might mean using a fidget toy, a fidget spinner, a fidget cube, the Play-Doh that I like, any of those kinds of things. Or by signing. And by doing that, I know that the distraction is in a controlled environment. It's handled, it's doing whatever it's going to do, and the part of my brain that needs to focus can stay focused. Another thing that's great about ASL and ADHD for me is that ASL is a much more visual language than English is. English is a very vocabulary, word-based language, and ASL is a lot more visual. So sometimes I've got, again, a lot going on in my brain's moving fast, and I can't figure out exactly what I'm trying to say, or, I can't really quite get the words out, and by bringing the visual aspect and thinking it through in a visual way through signs, I'm able to kind of wrap my brain around the idea or the words or whatever I'm trying to do. So that's been really, really helpful. And then another thing is just that I can be very forgetful because of my ADHD. And so I'll forget things. I will forget the end of a sentence before, like, halfway through with the sentence. Like, I don't remember what I'm trying to say halfway through. And so for me, if, like, let's say I'm eating and I take a bite, even if the other people around me don't know ASL, I can sign to myself so I don't forget what I'm trying to say by the time I'm finished chewing. Or even just if, I'm talking to somebody and I don't want to forget that I had, some other point I wanted to make, but obviously I don't want to interrupt them, I can sign it to myself to keep that thought in my brain without, talking with a mouthful or whatever. And that's really, really been helpful for that. And overall, I think that, having both languages, the ASL and the ASL and the ADHD, having, English and ASL, it has really, like, let my brain work and think in a different way. And I think that's how I view ADHD as well. My brain just works in a different way. ASL may not be beneficial to everybody with ADHD. It's just kind of what I've noticed since learning it. I think even if you don't have ADHD, ASL is an amazing language to learn. And aside from just the language, the culture is so interesting. And there's so much to learn there. And I wish that it was taught more kind of widely. I heard recently about Netflix doing a reality TV documentary style show or something about Gallaudet University. That is the big deaf university in Washington, D.C. I'm excited to see that. That looked really good. And I encourage anybody to take a look at it, see if it's something you're interested in learning the language, or even just learn a little bit about the culture. I will link down below some deaf creators, interpreters, all those kind of stuff. I think I only have TikTok creators at the moment, so I believe, if not, I will link whoever. Actually, there's Amber Gallagher, something like that. She's a well-known hard of hearing interpreter. I believe she does interpreting. She's well known for interpreting songs and, like, at concerts and stuff. I'll link her too. She has amazing videos and so cool and so interesting to hear her story and, how she got involved in interpreting music. So that is enough of me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it's a little bit of a different video, but let me know what you guys thought. I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!